Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Cleveland Clinic Courts. What an exciting time. This is awesome. Great energy here, and I think this is reflected in the energy in the city as well. So I don't think we could be more excited about the start of camp. Look forward to answering any questions you have.
David, on your left, Jason Lloyd, Akron Beacon Journal. Now that we're here, now that it's finally upon us, can you just take us through the emotions of, I guess I should identify which David Blatt. Just the emotions that you felt these last couple of months, and now that we're here and ready to go, just where are you mentally in your excitement?
Good afternoon, everyone. Obviously, this has been a very, very special summer for the Cleveland Cavaliers. The gentleman to my left has been working overtime for quite some time and put together a tremendous roster with great possibilities, limitless options, apparently, at both ends of the court. True quality as players and as people, and for me as the coach, obviously, the opportunity to coach a group like this and the excitement level that we feel and have felt throughout the city ever since Kyrie signed 12 minutes and 12 o'clock and 1 minute after 12:01 has been just tremendous, and it has been reflected in our day-to-day individual practices, in our day-to-day work in terms of preparing for the camp opening. And I'm more or less now at the point of let's get it on, let's go. I want to get started. You know, I feel like Marvin Gaye up here. I just want to get started.
Tom Rivers, Associated Press. David Blatt. How are you? What are your objectives in the first couple of days of camp? What do you really need to get accomplished right away with this special group?
You know, I think sometimes in the face of many options, the best thing to do is to be simple. We as a staff have met many times, including this morning on court, and really our emphasis has been on putting some simple things in at both ends of the court, getting good at those things, and then from there growing out into what we'll need in terms of specific situations and in terms of special tactics going down the line. Right now, we really ascribe to the idea of less is more, and let's get good at some simple things and grow from there.
Kenny wrote a Sports Time Ohio, one for each David up on the stage. First, David Blatt, what is your biggest challenge as a head coach coming from Europe and the style that's played over there and comparing it, adjusting it to the NBA style?
Specific to that, and fortunately I've been through the Summer League and got a feel for different aspects of the NBA game. I've yet to be in the multiple timeout environment. I've yet to actually coach in the 48-minute game. I have been through several seasons with close to 80 games, but 82 games in the short span of time that we find in our league is something that does require a special emphasis on sharing minutes and keeping my finger on the pulse of the player and the team in terms of load and in terms of fatigue. I really think the game of basketball is pretty simple, and from that aspect, I'm not worried about making the adjustment. But there are a lot of things that go into the NBA game that are unlike any other league in the world, and I'll go through my learning curve, and I'll go through my adjustments, but I certainly feel up to the task.
And David, for you, can you just talk a little bit about yesterday's trade, what that gives you as a general manager of this team, and are you done making moves before the season starts?
In terms of the question of done, I've said this many times, I don't think we're ever done. You know, we've had a very noisy off season, but we're going to be judged by our results. So we're going to keep looking for opportunities. Yesterday's trade was about opportunity. It was about being strategic in terms of giving ourselves more flexibility into the future with our roster. We're trying to look short and long term relative to that. But really it was about the contract flexibility that we gained from that. And we think it puts us in the best position moving forward, frankly.
Coach, Tony Zarella, CBS 19, how are you?
Hi, Tony.
As great as this roster is there also a pressure and an expectation that comes, a challenge of coaching? In other words, everybody pretty much expects instant title.
First of all, expectation is a good thing. Keeps all of us on our toes and motivated to do the best possible job that we can. There are a lot of great names that have come into the organization, and certainly people have a right to expect something from this team, if not more than that. But I know from my multiple years of experience in the business that names don't play, teams do, and teams do need some time to develop, to find their identity, to establish themselves, and to establish what they're made of, and then ultimately to reach as far and as high as possible to achieve their goals. Our goals are high. We're not shying away from that. Does that mean championship today? I don't know. I don't know if that's fair. There are a lot of other very good teams out there. There's a world champion right now that's looking all of the league in the face, and rightfully so. So we're gonna work very hard to develop our game and our identity, and we're gonna get maximum commitment from our players and from everyone in the organization as we have this summer. And we're gonna go after everything we can.
This question is to David Griffin, Chris Haynes, Northeast Ohio Media Group. I wanted to ask, with the emergence of Kyrie Irving coming into his own, LeBron coming over, Kevin Love coming over as well, I understand this organization was all about patience, but doesn't that get ramped up a little bit more with the extra firepower you guys have?
Yeah, so we were obviously trying to position ourselves to strike the right opportunities to improve the roster. We certainly think we've done that. We certainly think we've put ourselves in position to change our time frame a little bit. As Coach said, we put a lot of emphasis on the character and the quality of the people that we put together as well. And I think what excites us the most about our roster is the fit, and that chemistry and character are inseparable. And we really believe we have players on this roster now that understand what the mission is. And the success Kyrie had with USA Basketball, running a team with elite players, is certainly going to help him playing at a very high level. We've tried to add championship caliber people to this roster. So we feel like we've built it in such a way that, yeah, we've ramped up our time frame, unquestionably.
Hi guys, John Tillage, Fox 8. This is for David Blatt and also for Griff. David, talk about, if I ask you the question, LeBron James has really exhibited a lot of leadership as his career has blossomed. How much can you lean on that as you go forward? And then for you, Griff, the question is, can you tell us much about Ray Allen and the potential for him being here?
It's an enormous advantage when your best player, and arguably the best player in the world, is also your best example. I think, as you mentioned, LeBron has shown tremendous growth throughout his career. I think the manner in which he made his decision to come back here and his decision to come back to Cleveland speaks volumes to what he's all about and to what he wanted going forward in his career. The best thing about LeBron is that when he comes to work every day, you know you're going to get his maximum effort and his maximum performance, and thus far that's been pretty doggone good. He walks in the gym and he lifts everyone up. I can tell you just from looking at our individual workouts. And LeBron was in here September 2nd, the day after Labor Day, one of the first guys in the gym, which also speaks volumes to his commitment and his desire to set the example and to lead. So do we lean on it? I don't know if I'd put it that way, but I say it's more like we're blessed with it, and he's certainly going to help us on and off the court in everything we do.
Hey, John, relative to the piece you asked about Ray Allen, I wouldn't say anything about any other particular players. I think what I can tell you is, again, as I said earlier, we're trying to position ourselves to get the right pieces to put around this group. And certainly when you start with LeBron, there's a world of opportunity in front of you that you didn't have otherwise. So we're optimistic that we're going to be able to capitalize on those opportunities, and we're going to go from there.
Marla Wright from the Akron Beacon Journal. Probably for both. Was there a moment this morning when you drove in here, or just in the preparation for today, where you realized the magnitude of now you're the center of the basketball universe?
Absolutely. I couldn't find a parking place. It hasn't happened to me yet.
It was pretty exciting to see the Sports Center set on TV earlier today with Cleveland Clinic Courts in the background. From where we were to where we are now, it's really a blessing to be part of this organization. It's a great time to be a Cavs fan.
Both Davids. David Griffin, ESPN.com. LeBron James is a player for this organization, but is there more of a collaborative effort between you, David, and your coaching in terms of going over sets that you think could benefit him, and then you, David, in terms of the roster personnel moves? Is that a collaborative effort?
Well, I can share with you two short stories. We go through individual workouts here. We're not allowed to work with players in any other fashion until the beginning of training camp. But after all the guys are done and they go and they shower or they go to eat, I bring the coaches out on the floor, and we like to run through stuff, thinking about the ideas, what we could do for specific players, or how we want to run our team offense and our team defensive schemes. So the first day we were doing it, Sean Marion happened to be walking out at lunch, and he saw us, and he walked over and he just made some comments, which was very helpful. You get a guy with 16 years of experience and close to 700 wins in his career, including a championship. And it was fun. It was enlightening, and also it was inspirational, because you see already his commitment and his desire to see us succeed. A couple of days later, we're out there doing the same thing, and LeBron, who was here late working, he stopped to watch, and he noticed some of the sets that we were running that were probably geared towards him, and he said, "Geez, I really like the plays. I'm not so sure I like the players." I said, "Geez, LeBron, take it easy on my coaching staff. They've been out of it for a while." But that's obviously something we're thinking about and have been working on for the last month.
Dave, we've said this with almost every player transaction we've made. You couldn't have a better recruiter than LeBron James, and he's got such an incredible basketball IQ. He's certainly somebody we're going to share vision with and talk about ideas of where this thing needs to go. We're trying, and many of you that are here from Cleveland have heard us say this many times, we're trying to build a family here. We're trying to build a culture that's all about us, and we're going to take a lot of thoughts into consideration. And again, when you cut LeBron loose in the free agency path, you tend to get results you don't get otherwise. To say he's been an amazing partner this offseason would be a gross understatement.
Take two more.
Joe Martin from Northeast Ohio Media Group. Good to see you guys. What do you want from LeBron as we start training camp tomorrow? What is it that you look for from him? Or both? Whoever.
I want him to be healthy and engaged, as I know he will be. And I want him to feel that we have the potential to do the maximum with our group. That's really what I want. Really what I want from LeBron. It's hard to ask much more outside of his normal performance. And I'm going to leave that to him. I'm sure he'll come through in that respect.
Josh, we'll finish it up.
Josh Weir from Canton Repository for Coach Blatt. Can you talk about what are the challenges of meshing three stars like Kyrie, LeBron, and Kevin Love together? And will you lean on LeBron at all for advice in terms of that situation, because he's already been through it in Miami?
I've always felt that, first of all, the greatness of a player is a broad, there's a broad definition to it. But a really great player is a guy that has the ability to do things, but also has the understanding and the willingness to blend his talents in with others in order for the team to succeed and not the individual. So I'm depending a lot on those guys to have that kind of understanding and the willingness to do that. When we're playing pickup basketball out here, I see Kyrie and Kevin Love playing together. It's exciting because you see guys already looking for ways and figuring out things that they can do together to help each other and to help the team at the same time. I think, obviously, LeBron, he's got a wealth of experience and he's also won championships and understands what it's all about. And he's the kind of person that I think knows how to express his opinion and to lead his guys in the right direction, because he's done it before. It's not something that he hasn't done already.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. That'll conclude Griff and Coach Blatt.